Brad here from Piney Grove, and we are in Louisville, Kentucky at Equipment Expo 2024, and I'm here with my good friend Brody from Yakta. He is the marketing director, and I actually met him last year. We were cruising through Equipment Expo in 2023, and I saw this new mower that I'd never heard of before. I stopped and talked to Brody. I also stopped and talked to Andrew, the CEO, and they told me all about their exciting new brand of zero turn. And in fact, they sent one to Piney Grove a couple months ago, and we've been loving it. My wife Deb does most of the mowing out there, and she's mowed about 14 acres with the YXR710. Absolutely love that Kawasaki engine. Love the comfort of the seat, the suspension seat, and that 61-inch deck. That engine doesn't even know that deck is there. It's 1 year later. We're going to talk about the success of the models that they have out, and also some exciting models that are coming in 2025.
100%. So it's been a really exciting year for us. As you mentioned, you came and we're showing off our prototypes. And that was just 1 year after the idea of bringing Yakta to market. We've been manufacturing for over 40 years. We know how to go and take care of our customers, our dealers. We don't have a distributor model. And that's the biggest difference with Yakta compared to anybody else, is the lack of the distributor model. So that gives everybody the opportunity, from end users, cutters, to dealers, to be able to go directly to us. So when it comes down to our world-leading customer service, from the AeroQuip brand, which is our sister company, we've taken that and we're able to go and ship parts within 24 hours. If there was something wrong with your engine and Cowie or Briggs were like, we don't know if that's going to be covered under warranty, even though it's still under warranty, we go and step in because we want the end user to be taken care of. We want the dealer's customer to be taken care of.
So you don't make the customer go to Kawasaki for an engine issue. You handle it directly through Yakta.
So if Cowie or Briggs, and Cowie's great. Cowie has great customer service, but every once in a while there might be a little bump in the road. So we work really hard, and we would go and tell the dealers, like, you know what, just take the parts off your shelf, we'll pay for it, and then we'll cover everything else with Cowie. We'll go and work it out.
We have 3 YXR710 videos, and I have one that just released this past weekend, and we got some more coming up. We're in North Florida, so we do a lot of mowing. We mow from like March until, we're still mowing. We got probably 2 more mowings to do before the end of the year. But I got a lot of comments, so let's try and answer some of those comments.
Absolutely.
Number one, people are saying, not saying, but they're asking, where are they made? Because I've gotten some comments that said, is this another Chinese mower?
Our founders are from Australia, but our story goes all the way back to our AeroQuip days. So we source most of our parts from the United States. The same thing with our AeroQuip brand. We bring them up, we manufacture, and then we ship them back down. And that's the economy side of everything always going and working out. We buy the steel, we buy the parts, we ship them up, we manufacture, we ship them down, we sell them. Our why is actually to support the American dream, is to make hardworking, honest dealerships profitable. Now, from a consumer, you might go and think, hey, well, does that mean that we're going to go and get gouged for the pricing? And the answer is no. And that comes back to the reason why we do not have a distributor model. Because the end users out there, the cutters, you're not just paying for the equipment, you're paying the distributor, and you're paying for the OEM. We take that distributor out. So now it is, we keep our dealers up and running, we take care of the customer service, we take care of the warranty, and they get to go and deal directly with us. And end users out there get to deal directly with us as well if they see a problem, if they have suggestions, if something was going sideways. So we do a lot of sourcing, and we are constantly shipping down to the United States, supporting the dealers, supporting the American dream. So far we have 90 dealers when we came to the show. Just at the show yesterday, which was 3/4 day, we already signed up another 5. We expect to go and sign up another 10 to a dozen today. So by the end of the year, we'll be at or above the 100 to 120 dealer mark. By the end of 2025, our goal is to have 200 to 250 dealers.
So that's a look at the business model of Yakta, where they make the machines and where they source their parts. But now let's talk about the models and kind of the popularity, like which models are more popular with the commercial cutters versus which models are more popular with the homeowners. And then we'll get into the exciting, or the much more exciting part, which is what's coming in 2025. Brody, we're standing in front of the YXR320. What can you tell me about this model as far as who's the intended user And what have you seen for demand in this size as opposed to the 710 like me and Deb have?
This was our crack at trying to get a quote-unquote residential mower. But we are a premium product, and we cannot under-engineer something. So as we're engineering this, we realized, you know what? That $5,000 mower market, that's not for a premium product, that's not for a premium brand. But we do need to be able to supply something that is still affordable, but also is as durable for anybody else that might need it for a commercial reason or even for an acreage region. So our 320 still comes with the 7-gauge deck. It has the 7-gauge baffles, and that's where the big difference goes in is that a lot of the other competitors out there, and there's a lot of good competitors, but they'll go and say that their deck is 7-gauge or is 10-gauge with the 7-gauge reinforcement, but their baffles are 10-gauge or lighter, and that's where all the damage goes and happens, is with the baffles. So with our 320, you get the 7-gauge everywhere. You do have a 10-gauge frame. The seat itself can go and get upgraded to a 710, 720 seat. It runs at the 8-gallon tank, goes 10 miles per hour, and we're running the 3800 hydro gears on our 320. This is a unit that a lot of people found, especially the cutters, going to. So fleets are getting built with this because it is as heavy duty, if not more, than a lot of the other quote-unquote heavy-duty machinery that might be out there.
When you walk up to a Yakta, it is really, really well built. In our video, we called it the tank. Why did you guys go so overbuilt with your frame? What were you anticipating with that?
So when zero-turn mowers were at their prime, they were all built very well. What's happened over the years is that a lot of manufacturers, a lot of other OEMs have replaced steel with plastic components and done a very good job marketing them as something the latest, greatest, the newest, the coolest. But the consumer has essentially almost been duped into that makes it better. But the reality is they've taken out steel. They've taken out some vital components, some vital rigidity that goes and makes them more durable. So what we've been able to do, we've been able to overbuild these to the standard that the consumer needs them at. But we're not doing that to the expense of the end user. Because we don't have that distributor model in between, because we take that out, we can supply a better product. And that's really the key to our secret with Yakta, is the fact that we can supply a better product because we don't have that distributor model, and the consumers can be taken care of because they can go directly to us. Our dealers get more support because they can go directly to us.
There's less middlemen, so there's less people taking a share of the profit, so therefore you can invest more in the steel and not raise the cost of the mower. So that was lost on me in the beginning, but I think I'm starting to get it now, so thank you for clarifying it. But getting back to the model, we have the 320 here. Who is buying this model right here?
So we're finding a lot of the commercial guys are been going to the 320 model. So they'll come in looking at a 910 or a 710, and they will go right to the 320 just because of how durable it is. They get the same type of warranty and everything is covered except for the batteries, blades, and the tires. They get the same type of customer service, and they have something that is as heavy built or better than what they're currently running as a quote-unquote heavy-duty premium machine.
What about the 120?
The 120 is a great machine. We do get a little lighter on the deck, so you do get to the 10-gauge deck. We still get the 7-gauge baffles. You can upgrade your 120 seat to the 320 seat to get some suspension. The tires are a bit smaller, the engine's a bit smaller, but it's a great machine for those guys just starting out that is a one-man wrecking crew and trying to go and hammer out all day long. And again, they get the same type of support that you would with any one of our models. So there's a lot of sense of security from a business owner that goes in and gets a 120. The smaller homeowners with acreage guys, they like this as well. They love the 320 as well. And it's something that they can go and rely on, that they don't have to go and worry about.
3 burning questions people are gonna have. Number 1, what's my engine choices? Number 2, how big a deck can I run? And then number 3, what's my price point? So let's start with the 120 and run through those 3 numbers there.
100%. So you can get your deck sizes in a 48, 54, 61-inch deck with our 120. It runs a Kawasaki 730 at a 24 horsepower. You still get the 8 gallons, the same thing you get with the 320. And we're running the Hydro Gear 3100s, and it goes 10 miles per hour. The price point for our 120 comes in at a cash price of $8,899.
All right, let's switch over to the 320. We'll get the specs on that one, and then we'll go talk about the 710 and the 720.
So our deck size for a 320 comes in the same, the 48, 54, the 61-inch deck. The engine, you have the Kawasaki FX 850 that runs at a 27 horsepower. We have the fuel capacity still at 8 gallons. The hydro gears are the 3800s, and that can go 10 miles per hour. The price point and the cash price comes in at $10,999, and we also have a fleet price of $10,031.
Okay, this mower here gets me excited because we've got the 710, but this is the big brother. This is the 920, but it would have been the 910 at the time. So tell me about the features of the 920 and any improvements or additional features from the 710 or the 910 model from last year.
Absolutely, we're always looking for better. Just like on the AeroQuip side, we believe that the best cattle equipment hasn't been invented yet. We don't believe the best zero-turn mower has been invented yet. So we're always trying to make those small improvements. So with our 9, obviously you go and get your push bar up here. So if you want to push anything out of the way, you have the tow hitch receiver in the front, you have the tow hitch in the back, you get the 7-gauge deck, you get the 7-gauge laminate, and you also get the 7-gauge baffle. And we went and tried to destroy these decks as best we could. We shot at them, we blew them up, we towed them behind a truck. We're going to be showing a lot of that on our social channels coming up real soon. And we weren't able to go and do much damage to them at all. So don't want to give away too many surprises, but I promise you, it looks like a tank and it definitely stands up to that name. The big things that go and come in with the 9 that you would find different from the 7 is that you have the suspension seat that also goes and moves with your drive arms. So you're able to adjust it here so you get the travel within the seat plus the additional seat box, and everything goes and moves with the arms as you can see here. Again, you have the auto.
I got to stop you there,
cool.
man. So the one thing that that got my attention last year with the 710 is I sat in that suspension seat, and I think it's 3 or 4 inches of suspension. But this does something different. Could you explain that a little bit?
Yeah.
So what is different about this from the 710 that we have? Because
so the 7 only has the suspension on the seat.
Which is the up and down.
You got it.
Okay.
The seat box that the seat's also attached to is what is difference between the 9 and the 7.
I totally see it. If you can see it here on camera, not only does my seat go up and down, but the actual seat frame right here, you can watch it, that goes up and down as well. This just looks like something you never want to get out of, man.
Yeah,
wow.
It's comfy.
Wow, that's a huge upgrade. Deb is going to be jealous when she sees that I was on this 920. I'm not lying, that seat is fabulous. That was worth the price of admission.
So you did a really great job covering everything on the 710, which is pretty much everything that the 9 is, except for you can get the 2 engine options. So you can get the Kawasaki that is at a 30.5, or you can get the Vanguard engine at a 40 horsepower. Has the same deck size options. You can go all the way up to a 72-inch deck. You have the same I-frame 7-gauge construction on the front. You have this 2 8-gallon tanks making it 16 gallons, but also the 910, 920 have 2 speeds, so fast and super fast.
Hold on a minute, Brody. What do you mean 2 speeds?
Yeah, so you have 2 speeds. You got high and low. So let's face it, we all want to go and drive in high, and this guy can take it. So right here, you can right now it's set to high, and if you want to bring it down, you can go and set it to low, and you're set to low.
You have sold me on the 920. Okay, Brody, that's a really awesome mower. What are we talking about price point?
Yeah, so the 910, 920 comes in at a cash price of $19,899, or if you want to add it to your fleet, you can get it for $18,147. You still get the 5-year, 2,000-hour warranty, and that covers everything except for your batteries, your blades, and your tires.
Okay, the moment I've been waiting for. Let's talk about the 2025 models coming up.
So our X-Frame is going to be coming out in 2025. Right now it's going through even further testing, but we're really, really, really happy with what we've been able to come out with. So basically what you see here is that you see a zero-turn mower where your whole deck goes and comes off, and it can become something completely different. A lot of people have been asking about what this auxiliary switch is for, and that's what it's for. We started thinking about that last year and with our current lineup. So what you're able to go and do is you're able to come off of your mower deck and you can go and turn it into whatever you want. Right now we have a snowblower, an aerator, as well as a mulch bucket here on display. What you have right here is that this is where your feet would go when you go and come off. So just to keep a safety feature there, so you set your feet there, you pull back on the handles, and you separate completely from the deck. So this is our dolly. So just to stop it from flipping back on you when you are attaching, but it's just a simple pin that you go and pull on your dolly just to help you from flipping backwards.
Okay, so I've got this thing hooked up as a mower. Tell me how I unhook this deck from the mower. I got the dolly in the back so it doesn't go backwards, but how does this come apart? How simple is it and how fast can you do it?
Absolutely. So just like on your mower, you have the tension arm here. So when you go and pull this in, it loosens your belt. You've gone over that with your people on your last video. The belt will come off of the clutch, which all of our mowers have that soft start clutch. And as soon as the belt goes and drops off, you use your actuators and you unhook it and you start pulling off.
So the actuator's on the end of that stick right there.
Yes, sir. The best thing to go and show what you can go and bolt onto, and I know not all your followers need something like this, but it's just the best display that we have to show you the mechanics, is onto a snowblower.
I don't know what he's talking about, snowblower. Is that white stuff that falls from the sky? Us Florida people don't really know much about snow.
What we're able to show you here is you bolt onto what we call our UTC. So the UTC is just this front part without the snowblower on it. That allows you to then go and hook up anything else. So you'll see that you have the same UTC on the front here that you do on the mulch bucket or the aerator. And you just go and add the snowblower or the aerator or the mulch bucket right to the front. There's a simple electrical connection that you go and pump everything into. What that allows you to do is that it changed what this actuator switch was to connecting your UTC to disconnecting it into actually mechanics for you to be able to go and work your snowblower. Everything has foot pedals, so the UTC will have 2 foot pedals, and that'll help you, in this case, move the chute left or right, and the other pedal would end up being the pitch of the snowblower.
All right, that's awesome. Don't have much need for a snowblower in Florida, so you're probably not gonna see that on Piney Grove, but there is an aerator, and then we got the mulch bucket, and the mulch bucket is the most exciting transformer looking thing that I think you'll see at this show this year. So we've been filming for 10, 15 minutes or so, and I bet 300 people have stopped to look at this thing. This thing is just so awesome to have some sort of front end loader on a zero turn. Brody, tell us all about it.
Yeah, so as I went over before, the UTC is the same. All you had to do is just change out what the front assembly would go and be. In this case, we have the mulch bucket. All the mechanics are the same, everything operates the same. You have your foot pedals that'll go and control your pitch as well as your grapple.
Okay, so I look at this, it's radical, it's cool, and I have a grapple for the Summit tractor that we have at Piney Grove, and I'm also looking at putting a third function on our Kubota, so I'm very familiar with grapples. I understand the aerator and the snowblower, but what were you guys thinking at Yakta when you designed this? What's the intended user?
Well, I think the important part to start off with first is that we're listening to the users in this whole thing. So everybody that's here at the show are able to go and scan the QR code and tell us what they actually want to see come to market. Because we have a lot of ideas, and these aren't the only 3 things that we're working on. So going into 2025, when we release the X-Frame, it might not be the mulch bucket. It might be something else that we're going to go and release because the consumers are telling us they want that over the other thing. Not saying the mulch bucket won't exist, but where's it going to go and be in the release? The idea behind this was for people that need to go and move mulch around, some dirt around, the landscapers, stuff like that. Also, if you have to go and move a log or something around, you can go and hook this up, lift it up, move it out of your way.
All right, so Brody, I want to be the first one on the list that if this does not go into production, just send it to Piney Grove, and even if it don't work on the 710, we'll find something to do with it.
Find a way.
But we've taken up a lot of your time this morning. We appreciate everything Yakta has done to provide us the 710 for demonstration out on Piney Grove. We love the machine. We'll continue to give you feedback. This darn thing is built, and it's built good. And that Kawasaki engine, V-twin, electric fuel injection, we absolutely love it. Looking forward to 2025 and what Yakta brings to the market. But I'll let you get back to your other customers and your other dealers and stuff here. Appreciate your time. And for you guys out there, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching. And until next time, remember, life's short, tractor hard.